In developing a study routine for medical school, Anki has very quickly become one of the main resources that I use. A lot of my classmates also use it, along with countless medical students across the United States. Because it's such an incredible resource and is so widely used, I wanted to make a video about what Anki is, how it works, and why it works. So this video should be helpful for med students, pre-meds, or really just any type of student. And if you're using Anki now or in the future, it may also be a nice resource for your friends or family members to help them understand a little bit more about what you're doing as a student. Because I spend so much time on this application, I've had a handful of friends and family members asking me about it, so I thought this video might be a cool way to let them into my world a little bit, and hopefully it can do the same thing for you too. So this video is obviously a more basic intro to Anki. If you're interested in a more specific video on how I use Anki in medical school, let me know in the comments down below. Alright, that was a long-winded intro, so without any further ado, let's go. So what is Anki? Anki is a computerized smart flashcard application that utilizes a spaced repetition algorithm. Most of us have probably used physical flashcards to study before, and Anki is essentially the same thing, where you have a question or fill-in-the-blank statement on one side with the answer on the other. And the thing with Anki is the cards are on your computer, which makes it more convenient in that you don't have to be organizing and carrying thousands of flashcards in your backpack every day. So let's get into how it works. The real moneymaker for Anki is its spaced repetition algorithm, and the way this works is that after answering a flashcard, you then rate the difficulty or how well you knew the information, and then based on that rating, that will determine when you see that card again. So for example, if you're looking at a card for the first time, you didn't know the answer at all, you would rate it again, and then Anki would show that same card to you about a minute later. If you knew the answer and rated as good, Anki will show it to you tomorrow, and the time intervals will continue to expand from there. So let me provide an example, and in this, let's pretend it's a perfect world where every time you see that same card, you know the answer. So on day 1, you know the answer, Anki will say, awesome, you knew it, we'll show it to you again tomorrow. And tomorrow comes, again, you know the answer, Anki will say, great, we'll show it to you again in 3 days. After that 3rd day, if you know the answer again, you'll see it in a week after that. And that time interval will continue to expand into weeks and months. And it's important to understand that you can adjust these time intervals to fit with your preferences. This is just an example. So that's how it works, but why does that work and why is that a good thing? And the answer here is twofold. Number one, utilizing a spaced repetition method is time efficient. For example, if you had 10,000 cards to review, you wouldn't be able to review all 10,000 cards every single day. There just wouldn't be enough time. And even if there was enough time, you still wouldn't want to do that because you may know half of those cards like the back of your hand, and therefore it would be a complete waste of time to look at them every day. But by rating the difficulty and then spacing the reviews out based on that rating, you'll end up seeing the cards that you're less familiar with more often while not wasting as much time as the cards that you already have down. Number 2, spaced repetition utilizes a concept known as the forgetting curve, where after reviewing a set of information, we start to forget it and our ability to recall that information fades over time. Until we review it again, then our memory for that information is good, but then once again, we start to forget it. But the cool thing here is that the forgetting curve flattens over time. So initially when we learn something, the forgetting curve is very steep and we forget whatever we learned rather quickly, but with each subsequent review, that flattens out and we don't forget quite as much, quite as quickly until after enough time with enough review, the forgetting essentially stops. And this actually drives home another important point as to why spaced repetition works so well, and that is that in order to flatten the forgetting curve and to facilitate long-term retention, it's actually important to forget the information just a little bit in between reviews, such that when you go to recall it, it may take a little bit of time and effort, but once you do recall the information, your brain will then strengthen that connection, making it easier to recall in the future, and then again facilitating long-term retention. That's actually all I have for you today. If you got something out of this video, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and comment down below. And also let me know if you want to see more Anki videos in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.